Good morning, Rapid Freaks. Lexiot's here. It's a Friday freak out, and I'm freaking out because OG Ananobi is unreasonable with his griddies. Yeah, OG's unreasonable with his griddies. OG's funny, man. OG is just inherently a comedian. There's just things about him that make it funny. I'm sorry. It's just maybe his deadpan delivery. It's just the way he's awkward. It's just the way that he exists in this world is a beautiful thing. It's an amazing thing. He teaches everyone that it's okay to be a little different. And OG Ananobi, you're my hero. That's what I'm going to say right now. More great footage from Raptors official administrative IG and other places showing off the Raptors hanging out and having a good time, getting more extracurriculars. This time they were at Top Golf, and I'm going to guess this is in LA and California somewhere. It's basically a driving range where you go and you take a bunch of swings with the golf clubs. Well, they went as a team, and apparently it was OG's idea to go to Top Golf this week and hit some golf clubs. And they're showing all of them hitting them. I'll tell you the best one, the one that had the best stroke was Otto Porter Jr. I mean, that dude looked like he was a real golfer. He had it all right down, like the way he with his backswing and just the smoothness of his swing. I'm not really a golf expert, but watching Otto Porter Jr. take swings at the Top Golf, I was like, man, that's the dude. That's the dude that knows how to play just from seeing this form. The form was just perfect. Scott, as he said, he got better as they were there. He wasn't totally good when he first started, but he started hitting it really far the more he warmed up, and he started really nailing the ball. Woo, he was sailing it out there. He's quite proud of that too. He's like, yeah, see, I'm getting better as I'm out here. It's pretty good. Ron Harper Jr., also a pretty good golfer. He once again has this really weird swing, like his shot in basketball. We are like Ron Harper Jr., you have a weird shot, a weird jump shot, a weird form, a weird way of holding it in front of you and shooting it like that. And well, his golf hit is similar to his basketball shot. It's a little weird, but it is effective. Once again, him and Scotty similar with a very chucky kind of like, but it gets the ball going. Now OG, he stepped up to it and he looked like he was playing hockey. In fact, some of the comments in the stream were on the post were like, OG, you should go play hockey the way you're hitting the golf ball, because it really is like a hit on the ground motion, and he's kind of just like nailing it like a hockey player would hit a slap shot. And that's how he was hitting the golf ball. And then he was so proud of himself for hitting the golf ball like that. He did a little gritty dance off the green, or wherever the pitch, whatever the fuck you call it. You know what I'm talking about. The pitch. I don't. You know what I mean. And Scotty says, "Oh, he's doing a gritty. Is that warranted? Is that like, why are you doing a gritty? You failed." It's really funny to hear Scott, because it made me think about Scotty last year watching OG's funny moments on Twitch last year, which was really some of the best stuff from all of the hours of Scotty on Twitch, was when he would watch OG funny moments on YouTube and react to them. It was so fun and so funny. And you could just really tell why Scotty loves OG so much, because he's just quirky. He's different. And he's not afraid to be exactly himself. And he is hilarious. Seriously. Dude, you're not good at golf, OG. And that's what Garrett Temple said. This is what they said. Garrett Temple's there. And this is fun. You could see a little bit more of Garrett Temple interacting with them and how he can be like a good vet leader, kind of like just good presence on the Raptors roster. He said basically, like, we're trying to figure out who's the worst golfer here. And he said, I think it's the person that wanted us to come here in the first place. And then they show OG doing his attempts. So funny. Garrett Temple said, we think it's the guy who asked us to come here today. I love it. I love it. I love it. OG, you're a badass. And just be you, man. Just be you. So good. So good. Thank you, OG. All right, let me check with y'all's comments. It's just so good. This may not be a long stream today. It'll be as long as we want to talk, basically. Trevor's saying, "Good morning, Raptor family. Good morning to you, Trevor J. Always good to see you. What are your words of wisdom this morning? Let's see. Life is all about moving on, accepting change, and looking forward to what makes you stronger and more complete." Yes, 100%. Trevor J. Thank you for the words of wisdom. Yes, sometimes change is inevitable. Sometimes if we fight change, it makes it harder. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow and accept it and just be ready for the new and just embrace that instead of holding on so hard to the old, because that may drag you into a bad place because you can't let go. So yeah, it is an inevitable thing. Change happens, and we just, the more you can go with the flow with the change and make it work for you, the better your life will be. It's such a hard thing in some ways because some changes are things that you do not want to change, and it's something that we all grapple with at some point in our lives. So just be ready for change, be flexible, and once again, kind of piggybacking off what I said yesterday, if you can look at the bright side of things and change, that'll make it a lot easier. If you focus on the negatives of it, yeah, it'll make it harder. So you have some tools in your box to fight different things like dealing with changes. Thank you, Trevor J, as always, and safe travels to you, sir, as you do your platform artistry. Yes, Trevor J, platform artist, we love you. All right, Canadian Cowboy saying good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you, Bradley. Thank you. TGIF, Bradley. Yes. Trevor's also saying rumor. Damian Heat preparing on off that includes 3 to 4 future first round picks, expiring contracts, second round picks, or draft swaps, and a young player, Jaime Vasquez or Nikola Jovic. So you're talking about a deal between Miami and Portland that is still trying to get done for Lillard to get to the Miami Heat, and that this is kind of what they're at with where they're at with it right now. The rumor with it. Okay, Trevor, good information. If they make that deal finally after all this, after him saying I will only go to Miami, and after all the back and forth between the two teams, I'll be surprised. They would have made it already if it worked really well because they want it. They both teams want it. It's not like it's a big deal. Like in some ways, they really both want it, but there's nothing lining up. And I think most of it is that Portland wants a lot from Miami. That Miami's not totally. They're trying to be stingy, and Portland's kind of like, well, you need to give us all of this if you really want to get Lillard from us. So I don't think that they're going to meet on the things. And in some ways, once again, Portland can get better things from other teams than the Miami Heat. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. In some ways, I think Lillard's going to be in the Portland Trailblazers uniform this season. For some reason, I have that sinking feeling. The Trailblazers have said, we will wait. We will be patient. We're not in a hurry. We're not going to get cheated on this one. We're going to make sure we get a good deal for you, Damian, even if it's going to be months from now. So I don't know what's going to happen. We'll have to see, Trevor. Maybe the deal will happen this weekend. We'll have to see. Nako's here. Good to see Nako the Nacho. Y'all, Gerald Mayhew, I think it's August the 20th at a comedy bar, Danforth. He will be in Comedy Brawl. So go check him out. I can see OG trying to hit the ball too hard. You know what it is? It's like, all right, listen. OG has really good feet in some ways, but in some ways his arms are weird for like athletics. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's just brutally strong. I have no idea. But in some ways, what he was doing was he was hitting it like he was like I said, hockey playing, like he was street hockey. It wasn't like he was trying to bring an upswing into it. He was just going horizontal on the ground, like he was a hockey player. So yeah, his form needs to be worked on. He gave it away that he doesn't play golf. Yeah, he doesn't play golf. That man has never played golf in his life. You can tell because he wouldn't have came up there and tried to tee off like that if he had ever tried to tee off before in his life. So I think it's kind of comical that he wanted to go to the Top Golf and go hit some pitch, some at the pitching range or whatever, and he can't even play golf. I don't even know if he's played golf before because he wouldn't have played with that kind of technique. No, 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 no. I don't think he has. I think they just went there for fun. Now I love this. Like I said, the more fun clips we're seeing, the more better. because it means that there were team building, team energy. Darko's already getting his vibe strong with the team being connected. We're seeing all kinds of cool clips. Like, I really do feel like these guys are bonding better than they did last year. And there's a lot more laughs and there's just more unity. That's such an important thing for a basketball team. And the unity is being built right now at Top Golf, laughing at OG, who hits the ball like it's hockey. Yeah, yeah. OG is hilarious. Yes, he is, G. He is very much hilarious. He's the best. We love OG. Whoever says OG is unhappy, have you ever seen how hilarious he is and just how much fun he's always having? This dude's happy-go-lucky, carefree. I'll take a walk down by the lake with my girlfriend in a sundress, and we'll read books underneath a tree. Yeah, that's the life that OG's living. What do you think he's all upset? Oh, I'm upset about my role. His role is to be awesome and to be funny and hilarious, and he is valued for that. I don't understand why he's unhappy about his role, because he likes being the funny guy to a degree. I know he does. In some ways, that's part of the reason why he loves Scotty back, is because Scotty really appreciates his genius. And in some ways, that's part of it right there. What is it? What is to be upset? OG is OG, and he has such a specific, amazing role on the Raptors as the shutdown defensive guy, two-way player, but also very silly and weird kind of guy behind the scenes. You just need that kind of person. We've seen Major League and other sports team movies. There's personalities on teams. They're quirky and a little weird. And so you need a guy like OG around for comic relief. And like I said, OG's fun. Why would he be doing a Griddy after horrible golf if he was miserable in Toronto? Oh my gosh, there's another sign right there, Jake Fisher. You think he's miserable in Toronto? Look at him doing Griddies after horrible golf shots. That's right. That man is not unhappy. He's dancing even though he's horrible. Yes. Yes. I am Canadian. Data is in the house. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Oops. Good guide morning. Guide morning. Yes, we need to guide OG on how to hit the golf ball right. We need to guide morning for him. Let's get up in the early tomorrow, Scotty, and take him back down there and show him how to hit the ball better. Otto, man, this may be where we need your veteran presence. Can you show him how to bring an upswing up with the club, please? Because, man, this dude, listen, if he ever aspires to play any charity golf or anything in his future, he needs to learn how to hit the ball correctly. Let's just put it that way. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Monique, the super fan. Lawrence is in the house. Yes, Monique. Yes, TGIF. Let's go. All right, Guardian Transit's here. Also, good to see Guardian Transit, a great Raptor Freak. Longtime Raptor Freak. Always good to see Guardian. Good morning, all. Short note, I had the pleasure of Jack DeKaiser band on Saturday, and it was amazing. Maybe Raptors management should concern themselves on resigning OG, Pascal, and Gary. Future trade value up. Well, if they're valuing them on their golf swing, well, OG's trade value has gone down, plummeting. You can't hit the golf ball, OG. How are we going to get you to come play with the head of our team if you can't hit the golf ball? It's so important to him. If you don't play golf, you can't play for our team. Oh my gosh! Don't teach OG how to play golf, please, y'all. Don't teach him. All right, talking about extensions again. Oh my gosh, can we just get away from them? They drive me nuts. This extension talk. I do like what Orrin Weisfeld was saying though. He appeared on Confederacy of Dunks this week. And yes, I'll aggregate this. I am going to say this. He said basically, he said on the show that basically, if the Raptors have not got an extension or traded Pascal by the beginning of the season, Raptors fans should be worried. This is Orrin Weisfeld saying this. And he was like, no, right now it's okay. But if nothing happens by the time the season starts, then there may be a little bit of worry about the things that are happening with Siakam. So I just want to just go forward. Why the fuck do we have to be worried about extension this, extension that, worried about this, worried about that? I'm not living in fear. Let the team run the way it's supposed to run. Masai and Bobby are on top of things. I trust them. And they're going to make the best decisions depending on what the parameters and the settings and what's going on with the team are. And I totally trust them on this. And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to be like, I don't trust Bobby and Masai to make the right decision. And we're going to get screwed on this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, I ain't going to be like that. There's no energy about it like that. We'll just let them do their jobs. And as they deem they want to drop a bag on these guys when they want to, they will. And 30 million a year for OG, yeah, let's do it. Let's do that. And Gary, if he gets the extension this year, that's great. Pascal, whatever happens with Pascal happens. I don't want him to get traded. I do want him on this team. That's where I stand, but I don't know what they're going to do. In some ways, I understand it's attractive and smart to deal Pascal, but in some ways, I don't think it's smart also. So we'll have to see. That's a cool band. I thought you were going to say you saw the band Management because you put MGMT in there. I was like, MG, you saw Management this weekend? No, we saw Jack the Kaiser band. Okay, cool. That's cool too. Pope Positivity is in the house. The return of Jimmy Pope. Always good to see Jimmy in the chat. I'm loving the vibes going into next season and no expectations, but I could see them being way better than expected. Let's go. Woo. This is such a big deal, Jimmy, and this is true. Like the vibes can change everything. We had bad vibes last year and we were still 500. Well, we get good vibes. Everybody's playing for each other. They're happy and things are going well. They feel loose. You play way better when you're in that kind of mood and that kind of mind space. And the Raptors could be way better this year. They are a very talented team. People undersell them constantly. They just want us to go away and die. People write on Twitter every day, the Raptors are going to be a 5th or 12th seed for 10 years now, and they'll never, ever be a top team in the East ever again. They're saying shit like that right now. Like they don't know Masai Ujiri. You dumbasses, you go ahead and get fooled once again. We will come back up once again, just like a bobber on the water. You cannot put us underwater for too long because buoyancy, baby. And we're going to float right on back up to the top once again. So you go ahead and try and push us down, push us down. You won't drown us. We have Aquaman lungs, and you cannot drown us under the water. So we will be coming back up in the Eastern Conference, and y'all can think we're dead in the water like you always do, but you're wrong. You are wrong. You know you're wrong. And when our guys get better and we play good this year, yeah, you will remember that I said this and the Pope of Positivity believed in them too. That's right. Yeah. Woo. Let's go. I'm on fire. Top saying, if Masai sits on his hands again and even Dame gets moved, I'll go nuts. Why though? Why? You don't have to. Have more control over yourself. You don't need to react to things like that. It's a mistake to go into the season with the futures of Pascal and OG unclear. Mark my words. Extensions can get done during the season, right? I mean, I don't know, man. Once again, top, we're a little bit different in how we're seeing things, and you're a little bit more like reactive and emotional. And in some ways, we can't be that way. You just got to be tough and go with it. I understand you have designs on what you think they should do to be safe and not and avoid losing guys for nothing. I know why your concerns are about. But in some ways, listen, this isn't their first rodeo. They know what they're dealing with. And once again, this is all we got to do is like, don't put the stress on you, man. Bobby and Masai take that stress. That's why they get paid the big bucks. And that's why they do what they do. It's not Top's job to feel that stress. So don't feel it at home. You're a fan. Just take it as it is. And if they piss you off that bad and you're like, I hate these guys for how badly they've managed this team, well, then don't follow the team anymore. It's easy. Seriously. I'm just saying, I want you to be a Raptors fan, and I want you to trust in Masai, and just let it be that. Now, if they screw up and down the road, you're like, yeah, I told y'all he should have done this, and I will listen to you. And if it does seem like they did screw up, I will agree with you. And I'll be like, well, Top was saying this at the beginning of the year. So it's noted that Top has these concerns, but I don't want you to lose any sleep because I care about you. And it's not worth it. That's why Bobby gets paid for, not you. So don't you stress about it. How about that? Yeah. Iceman like Gervin is in the house. Whoop, 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 whoop. You better get your minutes down because the Iceman is here. At Trevor J, that Dame rumor is around 2 weeks old. Spurs to have 50 million in cap space next off season, looking to steal some 2024 free agents. Raps are golfing. Good for team bonding. Yeah, that golfing. That's such a fun clip. I want to see more of it. Y'all don't give me little snippets. I want a whole half-hour episode of them just golfing. I want to see the whole competition. I want to see it minute by minute. Don't edit it. Give me the raw footage. Just let me watch that shit. I mean, put me on live stream, just like I'm live streaming now. And I can watch them live stream play Top Golf. That would be so entertaining. Y'all could really get something going there. Seriously. Maybe we need some unedited, uncensored versions of Open Gym that are extended cuts, director's cuts. Please, this is a good idea. Yeah, a lot of the rumors are recycled over and over again. The Pascal stuff has been recycled again this week from like 2 weeks ago. So there is a lot of this kind of trade recycling of rumors, especially this time of year. For sure. Mischief is in the house. Good to see Raptor Freak Mischief. Good morning, Lex, and everyone. Happy Fridays. Happy Friday to you, Mischief. Let's have some mischief this weekend, but let's make it wholesome fun and nobody get arrested. Yeah, yeah. Evelyn saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Enjoy your weekend. Good morning to you, Granny Evelyn. Much love and appreciation to Evelyn and baby Candace. We love you, baby Candace. We love you, Granny Evelyn. Canadian Cowboys saying, Granny swag is in the house. Let's go. That's right. The swaggiest swag of the drip on that, Granny Evelyn. That's right. She is always dressed in the right kind of Raptors gear. And she's running around town. I know she's represented with her mint, beautiful white, purple dinosaur Tracy McGrady jerseys and all the great Raptor swag that Granny Evelyn is sporting around Toronto. That's right. She's a real one. She is a Raptor freak. That's right. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. TGIF. The team is laughing again. I pray the laughter stays the entire season. Last year we were hanging out and laughing, and then losing made everyone tense, and it fell apart. Last year was different though. Like it really was this year. This week, they were right around Rico Hines' runs. They were themselves. And, in some ways, we saw them working hard, but it wasn't the same kind of footage. We didn't see them doing fun stuff. We didn't see them kind of all hanging out away from basketball. And I think that's some of the differences. Last season, we didn't get any Raptors content of them going to the Rocky statue or Tupac Museum or any of those kind of field trips that they would do in the years before under Nick Nurse. And I noticed that last year. They were not doing any kind of team events the whole entire year. And I think that hurt them. They had things like what did they do? They had the guy come and talk. The congressman came and talked. I think that's the last thing they did that was kind of like team oriented. Cory Booker. They had Cory Booker come when they were around Washington D.C. and they did like a talk about being better in your life kind of talk from Senator Cory Booker. And that's one of the last clips I saw of them kind of doing this kind of fun stuff. So it could very well be, because look at what Dennis is doing over in Germany and Pascal and different people. It could very well be. Darko said, you guys, this is an important thing. I am in charge of the Raptors now. And there's one rule for you Raptors players: have fun. And he's like, you guys need to go out and play mini golf. You need to go out and, go to the paddle boats. He wants them to go have extracurricular summer fun. And Dennis is doing that like crazy over in Germany. And now we're seeing our Raptor guys around LA doing that kind of stuff. So this is good. This is good stuff. And I really like the bonding. And it seems like they're really integrating Garrett Temple into the team right now. So it's really, really good. Yeah, we don't want to have any weirdness this year. So let's keep the vibe strong and happy. And even if there's some difficulty, maybe a couple L's here and there, we'll weather the storm, believe in each other, stay together like we did last year. And it'll be easier this year because in some ways there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully we'll turn it around and have more positive results instead of being mired in the muckety muck of weirdness and not connectedness. Yeah. Cool Cat, always good to see you. Jimmy Pope is saying OG got to prove himself and improve that handle if he wants that bag. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. That speculation about what OG should make. I think he should make $30 million a year. I have no problem with paying him that money. Seriously. In some ways, I compare him just like Siakam to Tatum and Brown, and that he's not that far off from these guys. Now, Rick Barry coming out saying that Jaylen Brown making so much money is crazy and obscene in some ways. Rick Barry, very outspoken this week. In some ways, I agree with Rick Barry on a lot of stuff. People are disrespecting the old legends in all kinds of ways right now. These guys come out and they say stuff about how things were and stuff like that. Y'all don't realize it's not that these guys were all plumbers. I get it. Some of them were plumbers part-time. But the general wording of old NBA legends of all being plumbers and they couldn't play now, some of that's fucked up and it's not right. Rick Barry's right when he's saying that if we were playing now and we had all the amenities that these players have now with the trainers, the dietitians, the weightlifting, everything, we would be pretty damn good too if you take an old era player and put them in today's league and they were able to get all that stuff too. And now this is the thing's different. The drive of the old players is better than the new players now. And if they have all those tools, we may see them go a little further because listen, they had to go further back then on less money with less amenities, riding on team buses, not charter flights, commercial flights with everybody else. So they had it way harder in some ways. So if they have it cushier now, well, we'd have to see how much muscle Rick Barry would put on his body if he had all the amenities that an NBA player has now when he was playing. People forget that this dude is actually one of the top 75 players in the league, Rick Barry. He's not an average player from back then. Y'all can make jokes and clown him, but that's disrespectful because that man was actually a very, very good player. And you guys might be surprised how well he would do against our guys now. Part of it is also that the old players play with their head better than the young players. The young players are playing off of their athletic talent, and they're not using their cerebral minds on how to break down the game and how to play. And that's the way they all played back then. So if you played against the old heads, they might trick you a lot. They might outfox you a bit because you guys aren't playing with your brains, using your heads. You're just coasting on your pure talent. And these guys use their heads and their determination to do a lot of what they were doing back then. So it'd be interesting. I'd love to see some sort of weird technology. There's a time machine, and we could bring Bill Russell from the 1960s to now and let him play against current stars and see how actually it would go down. And I think people would be surprised to see how well the old guys would actually do. It's real easy to poo-poo old generation to say, oh, y'all all suck. You're all plumbers. But y'all really don't know how good some of these guys were. You go watch Jerry West. You go watch Elgin Baylor. You go watch Wilt Chamberlain. You'd be shocked. And you might be like, oh, shit, yeah, these guys might tear things up right now. And yep. All right, let's see what else y'all are saying. Cool Cat saying, seeing OG being stiff on that golf swing kind of explains why he falls down easily on dribble drives. He needs Pilates to loosen his structure and foot movement. That's great info. You know, you're probably right. Maybe you need some DDP yoga. Maybe you need you need some more yoga, man. I know Scott's doing a lot of yoga and we see how limber he is. OG, maybe you need more yoga in your life, man. Go get yoga and Pilates. Yeah, Cool Cat. Good suggestion. Seriously. Somebody tell OG to do this shit. Go Pilates himself. Yeah. Isaac saying, I thought OG doesn't shoot to miss. Well, that's why he was so happy when he did his Griddy, because he didn't miss. He's on the driving range. There's nothing to hit to. So you can just hit it. And, you know, he didn't miss anything. He hit it into the driving range. And so what if it didn't go very far and it rolled on the ground? That's fine. That is still not a miss because the driving range is the whole thing. So he doesn't shoot to miss, benevolent Isaac Campbell. No, he doesn't. Laugh together, win together for sure. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about seeing the chemistry. We'll see how good the vibes are on the court in play. Hopefully it translates this year. Last year it didn't translate. It's very weird. Let's see. Monique is saying shooting contest between Otto and Ron on Raptors IG open gym tonight. There we go. Yeah, this is another clip from this week. They had a 3-point shootout contest between Ron Harper Jr. and Otto Porter Jr. at practice this week, and it was whoever was going to miss first. They're at the top of the key. There's no NBA 3-point line, so they're using a yellow line to shoot from. And they went back and forth. And I would say they went about 14, 15 shots deep into this competition. And then finally Ron missed and Otto won. It was really, really good clip. Monique is right. There's a lot of good, fun clips on Raptors Official right now with them palling around and having a good time, just doing little fun competitions like rock, paper, scissors, top golf, and then that 3-point shootout. And it's funny because when they were doing it, you could tell the other Raptors were watching it. And they were going, ooh, oh, as Ron and Otto kept making shots. And they were really on the edge of their seat to see who was going to miss first. So they were very into it. And Otto was talking shit too. He was like, yeah, I'm going to beat you. And he talked a little bit of shit about beating Ron at the end. It's so good. Seriously, go check Raptors Instagram Official. There's a lot of good content there right now. It's really good stuff. Thank you, Monique. Carlos saying, morning, fellow freaks. Good to see Carlo JS, a great Raptor freak. Always good to see Carlo in the morning. Jimmy Pope saying, Atlanta thinking they can fleece us. Slap my ass up. Yeah, Sham sister trying to write propaganda for Atlanta Hawks and putting out trade rumors with her brother and saying, oh, Atlanta, all this shit. Yeah, no, this stuff is stupid. In fact, Hawks fans are so dumb right now. It's so dumb right now. They're weird. They're acting like this. So like they really want Siakam. They talk about how much they want him so bad, and then when they kind of get rejected on him, they start trashing him. They're like, well, he sucks anyway. We don't want him. This is kind of what's happening with them. But it's like a yo-yo because it comes back around and they feel like they may be close to getting him again. They're like, no, we love him. We love him. And then all of a sudden they said, no, Masai's saying no. And they're like, oh, he sucks anyway. So there's a little bit of that motion going with the Hawks fan nation right now between like lusting for Siakam and rejecting him and saying he's a horrible player when it seems like they're not going to get him. It's really pathetic in some ways. It's really funny. Fiercey's here. Good to see Fiercey Saucera, a great Raptor freak. Scotty Barnes, Twitch family, 2022 is in the house. Good morning, fam, and happy Friday. Agreed with Open Gym extended cuts. Would be so awesome as I love watching the team's newfound energy and bonding. Great vibes. Yeah, I want a half-hour episode. Or is that what we're going to get today? Open Gym? Are we going to get a full episode? Like, what are they going to put on there? There's so many interesting things recently. As Cream Thomas said yesterday, he really wants to see more Griddy at Caravana. We want to see more of these shooting contests. I want to see the full extended battles of the rock, paper, scissors. Seriously, I will watch that. I'm that crazy as a Raptors freak. I will watch a half hour of content of the Raptors just playing rock, paper, scissors. That's right. That's exciting to me. I want to see how Jama won. And how it all went down, and who was battling who, and who won what, and who did paper which way, and who did scissors which way, and why it won. Yeah, I want to see all that. I would love to watch that. Blackhawk's here. Good to see Neil. Yes, Blackhawk is in the house. Original Raptor freak in the house. Blackhawk, good to see you. Greetings, Lex, and the Raptor freaks. Yes, always good to see you, Neil. When you pop in, always happy to see you, man. Cool Cat saying last summer's team party for Scotty, 21 years old. Football bloopers between different countries, dance clips, Pascal's rookie jokes on Coloco, Scotty, Justin, Delano hanging out in New York City, Nick Nurse big party. You're talking about stuff from last year? Yeah, but in some ways, this wasn't like Raptors official stuff. I mean, I guess, but still, this is different. In some ways, this is Darko directed. In some ways, this is like Garrett Temple, Otto Porter Jr., and Thad Young are around and involved in this directed. This is very, very like set up and more like we're serious about y'all getting things together and being together than last year. Maybe last year we were a little casual, just like we were during the season. And we're like, yeah, we're doing stuff together at the beginning of the season. But this is very, very like mindful. Let's just put it that way, how we're going about connecting and bonding right now. Because last year, sure, we did stuff. Like there was Scotty in the shirt and, Wancho and dancing and all that kind of stuff. But in some ways that stuff didn't translate. So now they're actually like, in some ways they're coming. It's because the coaches are together and like, how can we get these guys to be more together and fight for each other on the court in the NBA season? Well, they're doing what's proven techniques are. And I think that's a little bit of the difference. I don't know. It's hard to say. Hopefully things just get better. They're all aware of what happened last year. So obviously they're going to try and do things a bit different this time. And who knows what Nick? I'm bringing up Nick and just in general. MSJ's here. Good to see MSJ. Always good to see Chris. Golf is a hard game. I hope to break 90, but OG does not seem like like much of a golf personality. Seems like he would paint like Jackson Pollock. Laugh out loud. 30 million is about right for him, and I see a breakout year. There you go. Yeah, if he has a really good year this year, then yeah, let's sign him and get him done on this deal. I don't know who Masai values more than Pascal or OG between the two of them. I have no idea. We're going to have to see how things unfold. In some ways, we're going to have to find out, and it'll be surprises. So you think he's more of a abstract artist or some sort of painter than actually a golfer? In some ways, I respect that more. Golf is a weird sport. I don't get mad at people for playing it, but in some ways, it's like it's kind of full of shit. I mean, I get it. I mean, some people just really love it, but in some ways, I'm also one of these people that's like, we could use these lands for better purposes than just rich old people walking around hitting a little ball. There's a couple different things about golf that I have issues with. So if OG's not really a golf player, I actually respect him for that. All right, let's see. Cool Cat saying OG is always funny, just like Kawhi. He did not allow it to be shown on camera. Now being the face with Scotty, he is allowing them to show it to the fans. Scotty and OG always said he was funny. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a periods of time with OG on the Raptors when he was young and he was first on this team, he was emotionless. Like you can go look at any pictures of him. He's more likely like pissed or upset or sad. And that's part of the reason why I don't believe Jake Fisher's rumors is because before he looked way more unhappy in like his first couple of years. But part of it was because he was dealing with trauma from personal tragedies and losses in his life early in his NBA career, losing family members, just having a lot of issues like going on, like with like he missed the playoffs because of his appendicitis. There were a lot of different issues going on with OG early in his career that were sad. And that was part of the reason why he couldn't totally blossom as the comedic person that he is, because things were really serious in his life. And you can tell, like you look at pictures from his rookie year, his sophomore year, his first 3 years in the league, he has a different demeanor in the pictures. He's very like serious and kind of pissed looking. Well, now if you see him in pictures, he's more likely to have a big smile on his face and more like at ease and comfortable. You can tell. So that's part of the reason why I was like, Jake Fisher's story last summer didn't make sense to me because I've watched OG's face morph over the years he's been on the Raptors from being very like unemotional and very like tentative and kind of like not trusting to kind of like now way more blossomed and open and comfortable and smiley and jokey and not afraid to be himself more in public eye in these kind of settings. Yeah, so I love that. I love that in some ways. Yeah, it's really really good that happened. He's evolved and he's more happy now at this point because I could tell he was really in a bad place his first few years in the NBA. That he was dealing with his parents were dead and like there was a lot of different things that were happening all of a sudden that wasn't easy for him. Let's see. Cool Cat saying at MSJ, OG's market value is 40 million minimum, like Jeremy Grant. Yikes. Well, I'm hearing 30. I don't know about this. Let's not up the price, Cool Cat. I know you're a Raptor fan, but in some ways, I know you're also a fan of these guys more so in some ways. Let's not hurt the team by getting rumors out there that saying OG actually deserves 40. No, 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 no. We want to fit everything. 30 is good. Let's just say 30 right now. If he makes 35, that's great. But yeah, let's not start this. Let's not put more ceilings on this. Jeremy Grant's overpaid. And I don't want to pay Jeremy Grant or OG 40 million a year because that's not going to work in our puzzle pieces. So let's not even start this. Let's not even start this. Jeremy Grant is overpaid. Let's not get in on a bad contract. In some ways, that would be a bad contract if OG's getting over 40. Let's just put it that way. Jimmy's saying, I do not want to see OG with the ball starting plays. It just doesn't end well. He has so much more time, so much more things he's better at. Why have him handling the ball more when there's obvious better choices? Yeah, yeah, I agree with this to a degree. In some ways, if we can fit the puzzle pieces of our players together to their strengths and really like get the best out of those and hide the weaknesses, that would be good. That would be very good. And hopefully that's what Darko's doing with his coaching staff. They're kind of analyzing, well, can we hide this about this player? Can we really double down on this about this player and really use it to our advantage also? Now, I agree with this, Jimmy. In some ways, I don't necessarily want to see him being the ball initiator, but I don't mind him being the catch and shoot guy at the end of the play. I don't mind him being the bully ball guy in a transition play where the other team doesn't have people back with a big. There's a little guy and he's under the basket and OG just dunks it on him. That's the kind of stuff I really love. The 3-point shooting and the bully ball when they're in transition where he just all of a sudden gets a really easy, strong basket, like high percentage basket. Yeah, I'm all about that stuff. Cool Cat saying, from Twitch, Scotty, he is fun, but he hates to lose. It makes him angry, and then it goes south. So Darko can help manage that part of his personality. Yeah, this is the toxic part that I worry about with Scotty, is his inability to accept defeat, and then also like his inability to accept failure by his teammates. That was a big red flag last summer. The fact that he came down so hard on Lloyd during the NBA 2K when they would lose really was a bad sign to me about possible behavior within the Raptors when guys on the team don't don't succeed and their failure around him. That if he mimicked any of that kind of behavior with Lloyd with the team last year, I'm gonna be like, that's fucked up, Scott. Don't act like that. Don't act like that. That doesn't help things because you kind of like you exiled Lloyd from your team. You said you're not allowed to play on my team anymore. You got to go away and don't even come around here and talk to me. He's like Lloyd's hanging out at the edge of the court in NBA 2K last summer, and Scotty's like, "Why are you here still, Lloyd? You're not playing on my team." It was like that kind of shit was going on for a little bit last August. So, I don't like that side of Scott in some ways. I like that he's competitive and I like that he really wants to win, but he can't be toxic and losing in some ways. He should have accountability for these other guys, but in some ways he can't hold other people accountable himself right now because he's making mistakes also himself. So it's a weird situation. It's a really good attribute in some ways, but it can be toxic if it's not dealt with in the right way. And that's what I worry about. Hopefully, you're right. Darko will have a big impact on massaging this kind of stuff with Scott and how his frustrations possibly with any kind of losing or failure. Yeah, yeah, good stuff, Cool Cat. Monique saying, "Did you see the NBA Christmas games? Meh, not feeling it." No, they make sense. And actually, they did them better this year than last year. These teams actually are kind of top teams. Last year, they had a couple teams involved in Christmas Day, and I'm like, these teams are not supposed to be on Christmas because they're not top teams. And maybe they didn't get the matchups exactly right. It could have been really cool if they'd had that Philadelphia Milwaukee matchup going on, and it was Miami versus New York. That's the better matchups they should have done because then we would have had Adrian Griffin versus Nick Nurse on Christmas Day, which is a badass matchup, by the way. And then you have the Heat versus Knicks, which is a stacked rivalry from decades ago, and they renewed it last playoffs. So I think they got the right teams, maybe not the right exact matchups. And once again, we're nowhere on the radar for getting a Christmas game this year. So it's not like we can be upset for being excluded from a Christmas game this year. We have no rights to one. So I'm like, whatever. These are the games they announce and do first, Christmas and opening day. And they got the two opening day games announced also. Of course, it's like Lakers and Warriors and Boston and all that bullshit. But yeah, we're starting to get the pieces of the NBA schedule come out. And well, we'll have the whole schedule soon enough. Watch, Monique, and then we'll be planning our falls. Yeah, we'll be getting on our calendars and figuring out what we're going to orient our whole entire lives around the Raptor schedule. I know how Monique and I are. We got to figure out about our lives. And in some ways, we're waiting for the schedule to come out just so we can figure out our fall. Yeah, I'm like that with you, Monique. I love it. Let's see. G saying Joey Batista is signing a 1 day and retiring as a Blue Jay. You're saying Jose Batista. Can't wait to see this for Lowry as a Raptor. This is awesome. I love this. Joey Bats coming back with the iconic bat flip. Just a lot of interesting things about Jose Batista that he is a big part of the Blue Jays history in some ways. But the cool thing about this is Batista is a long time player. He had a very, very long career. And the thing is, Jose Batista played for many MLB teams. Now, he could have gotten bonded to the Pirates. He could have got bonded to all the other teams that he played for over his career. But the one that he bonded to was the Blue Jays. And that is something right there. I love this, that he's coming back and signing a 1 day contract to retire as a Blue Jay. That's a big deal. You go, Joey Bats. And we love you here in Toronto. And thank you for coming back and being a Blue Jay one more time to retire as one. That is awesome. Cool Cat saying, Lex, aha, you making me laugh on contract number. Okay. Yeah, I know. Shh. Cool Cat, shh. No, don't let that out. Seriously, we got to be smart about this. I get it. You think he's worth that. In some ways, I think you're right too. But in some ways, we got to make this fit. So let's not keep upping the numbers. Some people are already arguing that 30 million is too much for OG. They're wrong. But in some ways, there's already people that are whining and crying. If he's making 30 million, just imagine what they're going to say if he makes 40. I get it. You look at Fred's number. We can't compare contracts to Fred VanVleet or Jeremy Grant because these guys got overpaid. And that's not something to aspire to do with your roster. So, yeah, I'm not following the template of overpaying players. That's not what we're trying to do in Toronto. We got a lot of good players. We got to make them fit. So we got to make them fit with the right numbers, right in the middle, not overpaying. Yeah. Nameless is saying, Buongiorno tutti. Come, sta mattina. Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? Nameless, thank you, my Italian teacher, for teaching me Italian once again. Buongiorno tutti. Buongiorno. Yes. Jimmy Pope saying spot on, Lex. Thank you, Jimmy. And thank you for being the Pope of positivity. You know, I wonder sometimes with these nicknames I give y'all, like the benevolent Isaac Campbell, stuff like that. Do you use these in your life now or something like that? You need somebody in your life, Jimmy, that's calling you the Pope of positivity, not just us on this channel. Because you are, man. You come in here and you're always positive, and I love seeing you in the chat. And that's why I gave you that nickname. It's like the Pope of positivity. It's just perfect. So in some ways, hopefully, I hope that you're known about that in your everyday, regular life with people that you're around. That they need to be calling you the Pope of positivity because that's who you are. That's right. Let's see. Nameless is saying stamattina. Stamattina. Okay, so that was supposed to be two. The words were supposed to be together. Buongiorno tutti. Come stamattina. Yes. Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? There you go. Good stuff. Yes, I'm learning Italian. I am Italian. Wait, no, I am Canadian. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. I agree with Lex. None of us are a capologist or an NBA general manager. Heck, we aren't even NBA head coaches. All we are fans, and let's let the front office do their job. That's right. That's right. I know my role, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I know my role, and I will not shut up because I know my role is to talk, but it's not to run a GM office. So I'm knowing my role, and I will lay it the smack it down with my voice to say, let's know our roles, NBA fans, Raptors fans, and just stop trying to be the GM. It's that simple. All right, here we go. Here's some news for y'all. I watched the second clip from Rico Hines' runs yesterday, and it was weird, man. First of all, Kenyon Martin Jr. had taken off, and so had even whatchamacallit, the secondary guy who's also there. I don't even remember his name. He's such a jabroni. So like the only two of the three NBA players that were at Rico Hines runs for the first one were gone. So there's only one NBA player in the Rico Hines runs, Thomas Bryant, NBA champion for Denver Nuggets, who now plays for Miami Heat. And I couldn't watch this clip. It was a half an hour, and about 10 minutes into it, I was like, this is horrible. I cannot watch this. So I skipped it to the end because the whole thing about Rico Hines runs is the best part is Rico Hines. You know, he has his pep talk at the beginning, kind of setting it up. All right, you're going to be here. Who's going to be playing where? And the guy gets the list. He's like, all right, John, Roger, Reggie, Theus, you're all over there. And then Brent, Jamal, you're all over here. And they're like, you know, that's the whole thing. And then at the end, they get together and Rico comes out and he has like his whole wrap up. And it's like pep talk. And he talks to them. Well, this was the weirdest one I've ever seen on a Rico Hines runs. He came out there and he said, y'all are embarrassing me. Y'all aren't playing this game right. If y'all want to try and play this game for money, you should just quit. You need to just play this game for fun because y'all ain't serious. Y'all should go and join the church league. Y'all should go play at LA Fitness. But if y'all are trying to make money off playing basketball, just quit right now because y'all suck. And he said, he literally told them this at the end of the clip. And he said, I'm going to be embarrassed to post this on social media how bad y'all were. And this is what Rico Hines said to these dudes at the end of this. I was like, holy crap. Whoa, he is real. He is real. He told these men to go and play at LA Fitness because they should just give up on their professional basketball dreams. I was like, whoa, Rico Hines is a real one. Holy crap. Truth bombs on those young men. And like, it wasn't pretty. I was like, damn, he's coming down hard on them. This is kind of like on American Idol when they said, no, it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me, dog. Sorry, dog. You're not going to Hollywood, man. This is what that shit was on Rico Hines' run, the latest clip. Wow, he was so brutal with them. He's like, y'all aren't doing things seriously enough. You don't take the game seriously enough. You don't honor the game as it being sacred. So y'all should not be playing in this gym. He said, in fact, if I had other people here, I won't invite you guys here again. This guy, I was like, holy crap. He came down on them like a ton of bricks. And Thomas Bryant was standing behind him the whole time, sweating his ass off. So you knew he wasn't loafing or not putting his best effort out in the Rico Hines runs like these other guys were, because Rico told him, he's like, ooh, and he was nodding as Rico was saying all this shit. Thomas Bryant's behind him. He's like, yep. And Rico he basically told them, go join the church league. Go join the church league. Don't even try and go to Europe. Don't even try and go to China. Just stop. Just stop. Y'all are not trying to make no money playing basketball because you don't take it serious. Wow. Wow, Rico Hines. You're a real one for that. Seriously. Holy crap. If y'all want to see that, go check it out. The latest Rico Hines runs clip came out 2 days ago. Skip to the end. Don't even watch the whole thing. Just go right to the end where he's talking to them and just watch what he says to them. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Jimmy Post saying, I appreciate that. Laughing my ass off. Definitely try to carry that energy every day. There you go, Jimmy. See, you know what? In some ways, Jimmy is like probably a leader in his life for people seeing the bright side and being more happy in their lives. There you go, Jimmy. That's what I'm saying. Spread that light and positivity, and you may be making a big difference in people's lives and you don't even realize it. That's what we have. We have that power to either, make things better or worse in this world. So think about what your effect is and what your outcome is as far as what you're putting out there. And I know Jimmy's a bright spot for people around him. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. All right, let me do the Instagram check since we've gotten to this point. Grady Dick is on superfan Monique's Instagram, and he's a dinosaur, and he's standing in the woods in the jungle with a raptor behind him. That's pretty cool art. I like that, Monique. I don't know where you found that. That's pretty cool. Grady's also in car commercials for the car wash in Wichita, and he's saying on the commercial, he said, red is my color now, guys. So you should come down to this car wash and get your car washed, is kind of what he's saying right now. Tommy's Express. Monique has posted this thing with Scotty lifting weights. And Chris Boucher and Jeff Dowden Jr. are giving Scotty some inspirational motivation during his workouts. The vibes of this offseason have been insane. This is what Monique is saying on her Instagram. I love it. Scott's lifting some heavy weights, and Chris and Jeff Dowden Jr. are right there on him, like encouraging him and yelling at his face. This is stuff we've never seen before on the Raptors before. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the Darko effect. These guys are getting involved and engaged with each other. I think Scott really loved them pumping him up as he was doing it. They're like clapping and talking straight at him really loud and really good stuff. A lot of content of them working out and being crazy and loose right now. Mr. New York City got his laptop out yesterday, and he was asking everybody, do you want me to go into the archives today? And I think he's got a bunch of old clips of himself from his past, whether it's at Kansas State, whether it's from his high school days, whether it's from even younger. So there's a bunch of old Marquise Noel clips on his Instagram stories right now. So if you want to watch young Marquise and doing some of the things he does, definitely check out his Instagram stories, because I think he's got about like 10 or 12 of them, and they're straight off his laptop. It's not the best quality, but you can see young Marquise and Marquise at different stages, seeing what he was doing at certain points. I don't think the black and white does look better, Marquise, by the way. He says, I think the black and white looks better. Well, no, it doesn't. It's already hard enough to watch. So put that color back on there, please, is what I'm saying. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. And then in the last one, he's in an elevator. I'm wondering if he's still in L.A. I'm pretty sure they're all still in L.A. As I said, Grady Dick is putting Tommy's Express on blast. Red is his favorite color now because he's on the Raptors. And Tommy's Express is red is the color also. Let's see who else we got. We got Dennis Schroeder. He's got his sons on the new generation. I hate the jerseys they're wearing. Don't get them out of them ugly jerseys. One of them's wearing a Rockets jersey, and the other one's wearing the Boston ugly green jersey. Get them some Raptors jerseys, Dennis. Come on now. You're on Toronto now. We got to get your kids in the right outfits at this point. Also, we got, let's see. He's got a picture of him with Franz Wagner and Isaac Bonga waiting to play in the game. He's saying, my dogs. So he's very prideful of the German national team right now. He says he's always having fun while I'm playing. There's a picture of him smiling from the other day playing against Canada with a big smile. Yeah, Dennis is fun, man. I'm so happy he's a Raptor. And it's going to be very interesting to see what he does for the team this year. And then there's something where with the water or something, I don't know, get right. He's doing some therapy or something, hydrotherapy. Precious. Oh my gosh. So much on the What If Unlimited Academy in Nigeria right now. So many. Oh, there's a windmill dunk by Precious. They're going crazy. There's a really good turnout. Lots of talented young people over there in Nigeria getting exposed to good organized basketball with Precious Achua. There's a picture of him at the radio station doing his interview at the Beat 99.9. There's a picture of him holding a golf club. I'll bet you he can hit a golf swing better than OG can. There's Precious at the nightlife, wearing a nice little hat and just chilling. There he is, some friend of his give him some noogies. There he's on a plane. So I'm wondering if Precious is on his way back to North America from Africa right now, because there is a picture out a window with some nice cloud cover, and you see a plane engine. So it could be Precious is on his way back to this continent. There he is with a camcorder. There's a lot of cool stuff with Precious. Maybe he knows I do these Instagram checks. He wants the Raptor Freak to go overtime because he's got like 20 Instagram stories here. I'll go through them all. He's getting his beard shaved and he's on his phone at the same time. He's multitasking. He doesn't have time for a lot. So he's getting his beard cut while he's doing his social media at the same time. And then he's sitting in a nice room with some nice sunlight coming into the room. And I don't know, he's with his friends. He's looking at something. There he is listening to music and kind of just chilling. Let's see. Here he is on the barber's chair again on the phone, smiling real big. And the barber's watching him on the phone. There he is with an old school camera. It's not like a camcorder or a phone camera. It's like one of these old cameras like this. It's really weird. Let's see. He's got a very nice picture, a black and white picture of a flower. Very artistic, Precious. Maybe you heard me say Pascal's so good at taking pictures with the framing. He's out there trying to be an artistic photographer also. This is a nice picture, Precious. This black and white flower you got here. Then there's a picture of one of those weird like reflective things in the subway, so you can see around the corner that's up in the ceiling. The little, he's taking a picture in that, so it looks all distorted. It looks cool. So he's got a lot of art. There's some real texture to this picture. It's like a river with some trees behind it, and it's got layers to it. It's in black and white. It looks really cool. So Precious really has an artistic eye for photography. Really, really like that. There he is in an art gallery, just kind of making a pose. Yeah, there's so many of these pictures. There he is putting on a real golf course, and it looks like his form is better than OG's. Better than OG's, maybe better than the other guys. Precious is probably one of the better golfers on the Raptors. Then there he is on the radio again, smiling real big. Yeah, he had a good time. He's having a good time over in Africa, taking care of business over there in his academy. Pascal. He's going through his go-to workout songs while he's stretching. Looks like he's got Lil Yachty playing. He's got some Nipsey Hussle. Let's see. He's got some Dave Central. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. Takeover. Yeah, so he's got a lot of different stuff playing on his stuff right now. La Bianca. Yeah, so Siakam's vibing to his songs right now. That's what he's listening to. Spyro and Tiwa Savage. Kunle Gold. Yeah, he's got a lot of good stuff going on right now. Kiad. Yeah, there you go. All right. Yes, sir. Ski Scotty has got some purple shoes. He's sitting on a court. This is his lifestyle Instagram. There's a picture of him with Koloko. And I love seeing it. Koloko on Scotty's Instagram and him hanging out. That's showing bonding and good stuff. I like it. Then Scotty did his whole thing. I guess he misses Twitch and interacting with us because he would take questions on Twitch before. Well, he's doing questions through his Instagram stories yesterday. Asked me a question and he answered some. He said, first question was, what song have you been pumping a little too much lately? And it looks like it's Pound Town, y'all. Pound Town is the song that Scotty's bumping a lot lately. Pound Town. And then what sport would you be elite in if not basketball, Scotty? I think I could be really good at tennis, to be honest. We saw him playing a bit of tennis down in Jamaica just a couple weeks ago. So he thinks he'd be a very good tennis player. That's probably right. He's probably really got a good base and he's quick and he's a long arm. He'd probably run around and get the tennis ball pretty good as a tennis pro. So yeah, that's probably a good sport. Although we're seeing him doing some MMA lately, he might be very good at that also, being so big and strong. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He's just doing it for training. Let's see. Another question is, be for real. Does life get boring being a basketball player? And Scotty says, depends on how you want to live your life. I like my life peaceful and simple, so I enjoy my free time and not having to worry about any unnecessary distractions. There you go. Yeah, he keeps things simple. We know Scott doesn't really go out. Some people have said, oh, Scotty's out all the time partying. No, he's not. In fact, when they came to him on Twitch last year and said, I saw you at the club last week, he said, no, you didn't, because I don't go out. Scott may go out to eat dinner at Soto, at good restaurants around Toronto, but he's not at the nightclubs. He's not out there getting drunk. He doesn't drink. So it's like you're not going to see him out and about like that. It's not how he moves, just so y'all know. Let's see. Who's your favorite musical artist? This is a question for Scott. He said, I don't really know right now. My favorite artist is going through a weird phase right now. I'm trying to remember who he said his favorite artist is from last year. And I'm trying to remember who this would be. There's so many different artists going through weird phases right now. Whether it's Tory Lanez going to jail for shooting Megan the Stallion, whether it's all kinds of weird shit happening with different hip hop artists in different places. I think that his dude last year was Miles, Miles or somebody, but I'm not sure who exactly his favorite is right now. But obviously, they're in a pupae larvae state of change, and Scott's kind of figuring out whether they're still his favorite artist or not because he doesn't totally know where they're going to be on the end of this. Let's see. Also, he said, "What's your favorite Jamaican food, Scotty?" And he said, "Oxtails, rice, and peas." And then he said, "Are you scared to go offshore fishing?" He said, Can I ever get my invites? They always go without me." So he wants to go offshore fishing. And I wrote a comment to him after this saying, "This is just like when you played Friday the 13th last year on Twitch and they left you at the dock and on the boat and they left you behind. And so this is like the same thing. He wants to go offshore fishing with them, but they don't always go without him. They leave him on the dock, standing there waiting." So I wrote a nice message to Scott about that incident. And then I told him that us Twitch family people love him and miss him. And we still get together on the Raptor Free channel. A bunch of us are still here that we used to hang out with him from last year. So if he ever wants to find us, we're on the Raptor Free channel. So I wrote Scott directly in his Instagram from that post telling him that. So who knows? Maybe you read it, probably didn't. He probably gets so many messages that way every single day that there's no way he's reading that shit. But who knows? Maybe he did because he saw Raptor Streak. He goes, "Oh shit, Raptor Streak sent me a message." Well, come see us, Scott. Seriously, and write in the comments and say hello to us because we do miss you. Your Twitch family does miss you, and we are your family. We do still talk about you a lot as far as like those Twitch times and hanging out with you, like Fiercey Salsera, Isaac Campbell, Tom Dude, Cool Cat, Country Kong. All of us are here. We were with you last year. We're the same people, and we miss you, Scott, on Twitch. All right, that's Scotty answering questions on Instagram yesterday. Chris Boucher's got a couple things going on his Instagram. First, he's got this guy. It's a scene with these two guys in the car, and he's going, "I built this shit brick by brick, and I'll be damned if you tear it down just because you don't like the way another person talks." And so he's like, basically, like, that's a cool scene. And it's probably where Chris is at. That's kind of interesting. He's saying, "I've worked hard on my NBA career. I've worked really hard to get to this point, and I'm not going to let you fuck me up now. And I'm going to hold on and protect what I've already built," is basically the message I'm hearing coming from Chris Boucher. And this in an upheaval time of a new coach and new roles and unsure things about your role and your playing time and things. This is what Chris has got to do. He's got to have this mentality that I busted my ass to make myself to who I am at this point in my NBA career. I want to continue to go further, and I will not let you take this away from me. I will adapt, and I will do what I have to do to continue to be Chris Boucher. And I love that. I love that. He's also got Denzel Washington doing a quote talking about opportunities. Very, very interesting motivational stuff Chris is posting. And then there's one more thing he posted, a little kid saying, "Controlling my tongue is no problem. It's my face that needs deliverance." Yeah, I get that, Chris. This is why I could never play poker, is because I have no poker face. My face can read the emotion real quick. And that may be the same way for you. It's like you can't hide what you're thinking because that face will betray you. I get it. I get it. Ron Harper Jr. put on blast that 3-point shootout between Otto Porter and himself. Really cool clip, Ron. And too bad you lost, but it's really fun to see you guys go at it. And you guys weren't really shooting the same way all the time. There was kind of drifting different places, and you were kind of like getting in each other's way a little bit too. It's not an easy game that was going on there, but really, really fun stuff. Good job, Ron Harper Jr. There's your Raptors Instagram check, y'all. Lots going on. I love that Scotty Q&A in the stories on Scotty's Instagram yesterday. So good. So good. All right, let me see what else y'all have said in the comments since I got on there. Really, really fun stuff on Instagram yesterday. Good stuff. All right, let's see. Cowboys got the mugs out for the Mug Brothers, him and Chris. Let's go, Raptors and Raptor Freak. It's Darko time. Chin chin, chin chin. That's right, Chris and Bradley. Chin chin in front of our sacred Scotiabank Arena in the middle of Jurassic Park. These guys are out there with their mugs. Yeah, I will always remember that. Cool Cat saying, "Wow, Rico probably felt those youngins were disrespecting the game. You know he's serious about basketball. Seems to be a common problem with young folks. Young players have more money options." No, this is seriously what it was, Cool Cat. I know we were kind of dissing the first clip, but he was like, y'all are not up to the snuff of what Rico Hines runs is all about. This is John Wooden's house, y'all. And don't you be coming into UFC LA and disrespecting the heritage and the vibes of the history of this building. And that's what he was feeling the anger about. And it's like, y'all do not belong in this arena or this gym working with me because you are not of the quality of what I'm looking for here. And you're not serious. Y'all aren't taking things seriously. Y'all are lazy on defense. You're lazy on this ways. You're not taking things seriously enough. That was basically his message, was that y'all aren't serious enough. Y'all don't take basketball serious enough. So go to Church League, go to LA Fitness, is what he said to them. Yeah, yeah. And people in the comments were like, Rico's so real for that. And like, he's right. They need to start taking things more seriously if they want to make themselves anything in basketball. That's for sure. I'm glad I didn't waste my time watching the whole half-hour clip and only watched the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes because I'm sure it was boring as hell. Like watching them and like they're lazy. There's no up tempo. They're kind of just like not playing hard on defense. None of that stuff was happening in that clip. It's crazy. Let's see. Stargate saying, was Ben McLemore at the last Rico session? He was there the day before. Yeah, that's the other name I forgot, Stargate. They had three guys. They had Thomas Bryant, Ben McLemore, and Kenyon Martin Jr. were the only three NBA players at the first one. And McLemore and Martin were gone on the second one. Thomas Bryant was the only notable player at that one. So, and they didn't even have 5 teams. He had only enough for 4 teams. And he even said this at the end of it. He said, if I had my way, we wouldn't have had 4 teams today. We would have played 3-on-3, and I wouldn't have had half of y'all playing here today, is what he said at the end of it. He's like, if I'd known this was going to be like this today, I would have sent half of y'all home, and we would have done 3-on-3s instead of running 5-on-5s with 4 teams, because half of y'all shouldn't have been here today, is what he said, basically. Cool Cat saying, I've always been a Dennis fan. I always thought he would be a good fit for us. Yeah, me too. He's got a mentality that's similar to the Raptors, like kind of team mentality from the last few years. And obviously, Bobby and Masai have coveted him and wanted to get him for a while. They almost got him before he went to the Lakers that time. We were in the running for him at that time, but he went to the Lakers. Well, now we got him on this one. And it's exciting. He's a good fit. He really is a good fit. In some ways, he's a better fit to our team than Fred is. He really is in some ways. Jimmy's saying, I remember seeing how upset the guys were after that play-in loss, especially Scott. Those moments shape you. And I really felt Scotty won't let that happen again. I bet he's going to be different this year. That's part of it. We want him to feel that and really internalize it to prevent it from ever happening again. And he does feel that way. He feels that very strongly. Yeah, he didn't like both the times that they've lost like that. He just leaves. He doesn't stay on the court. He doesn't say anything to anybody. He walks right off the court. When we lost to Philadelphia the year before, he did the same damn thing. He wasn't out there shaking anybody's hands. He was so mad, he just left. So, yeah, I like that about him. But, we need to figure out a way so you can avoid that, Scotty. And some of it is very much in your hands. Yes, it is. Some of it is very much in your hands. Thank you, Jimmy. Isaac saying, oh, yeah, my kids are only allowed to call me the benevolent one these days. This is awesome. So Isaac's really leaning into his nickname of the benevolent Isaac Campbell, and he's got his children now calling him the benevolent one. Well, in some ways that works because, you are supporting them, I'm sure, to go to school, and you are being very benevolent as a parent to give them a life to grow up in. So I think that fits. And if anybody's calling you benevolent, as I have, because you've been so benevolent to this channel, they should be saying it to you also as your children, as you raise them. I love it. They call him the benevolent one. Oh, benevolent one. I love it, Isaac. That's awesome. Hilarious. Fiercely saying, gotta go, fam. Enjoy the rest of your day and be great. Bam, bam. Raptorize your day like Fiercely Sarah will do, TGIF, and get ready for your weekend. Summer weekends are the best. So have a good time. Always great to see you, Fiercely. Thank you for being here and enjoy your day also. Isaac's got he's doing that. All right. And Random Gamers here. Good to see Philly fans in the house. What's up, guys? I did look at all the games. Do the Raptors have a Christmas Day game this year? No, we don't. For some reason, the league wants to ruin my Christmas by putting the Sixers against the Heat. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That's happened sometimes. When we got our Christmas game last time, it was against the Celtics, and it was an early game. It was at noon, and we lost, and it ruined my Christmas. Yeah, that's a real danger, Random Gamer. You got to worry about this. That if you lose during the day on Christmas Day, it causes kind of sour things for the rest of the day. If you're a diehard fan of your team, like we are, no, I get what your fear is. Seriously, it's the heat. We'll have to see where both y'all's teams are at that time, as far as like functionality and toxicness, and what players are available as far as injuries, also. So we'll have to see. There's a lot of time before Christmas. James Harden, you got to figure this out. Seriously, this should be priority number one for Daryl Morey and the Philadelphia 76ers is James Harden. They've got to figure this shit out, because if the longer they don't figure this out, this goes into the season, is just putting off and making things difficult for your team to be successful. So it's going to be weird. But yeah, y'all get the heat. I think y'all should have been playing Milwaukee instead. That would have been more fun. Adrian Griffin versus Nick Nurse. That's a good matchup just because of the coaches and their friendship. And then you have two of the PhDs in the league. The only two doctors that coach in the league are coaching in that game. Stargate saying anyone who still expects a Raptors Christmas Day game on U.S. national television does not understand the whole NBA TV deal business and how it works. In some ways, they like giving us a Boxing Day game. In some ways, that's their tradition. We have a Boxing Day tradition in Canada. Boxing Day is more of a big deal here in Canada. So playing the Raptors on Boxing Day just makes sense. And in some ways, I kind of like that. It's kind of different. In some ways, I don't want my Christmas Day messed up, just like what's happening to Random Gamer. He's got to worry about this. That if the Sixers lose the Heat on Christmas, he's going to be depressed while he's opening presents and hanging out with his family. And he'll be like, why are you upset, Random Gamer? It's like the Sixers lost, Mom. And you'll be like, oh, damn, I'm sorry, baby. And like, it is what it is, Jimmy Pope's saying, bro, we ain't getting a Christmas game for a while. Yeah, I don't want one in some ways. In some ways, they're stupid. In some ways, I like our players to be able to spend Christmas with their families instead of having to worry about a game. I know there's a prestige. It's just part of it is like, let's reject this whole idea that the Christmas games matter more than anything else. They really don't. They really, really don't. It's a weird, dumb way the NBA tries to stratify the teams as far as who's important and who isn't. And we can reject that. Who gives a shit who's playing on Christmas? I don't give a fuck. If you know what, you have to work on Christmas, well, you're sad sack, just like those sad sacks down at Walmart. So yeah, okay, good. You feel good about working on Christmas? Nah, y'all can act like it's prestigious, but it's not like there's any rhyme or reason to who they give the games to. It's not like they give them a merit-based anything. So it really doesn't mean jack shit. It's a manufactured bullshit way the NBA tries to stratify and say these are the haves and have-nots in the league. Well, let's just reject it. Who gives a fuck who's playing on Christmas? I'm so sorry you have to play on Christmas instead of being with your family at home. That's the way I'm going to look at it. Seriously, I don't care about your Christmas games. They're just as much as the games on Halloween, the games on Thanksgiving. They're all the same to me. They're just holiday games. And any prestige that's on the Christmas games, I don't give a fuck about that. I reject it. And the rest of us can do it too. And the more the common perception is, who cares what the Christmas games are? They're supposed to be so important. The NBA wants to make it seem like they're so important. I don't give a fuck who's playing on Christmas. In fact, I'm glad my guys get to stay home with their kids and their wives and their families and their loved ones instead of have to fucking play on a game on Christmas Day. Let's change the whole mindset of it. How about that? That's how I think about it. Cool Cat saying, I miss the interaction between Boucher and Precious. I hope it continues this season. Yeah, we want more DX. We want more. Suck it. Yeah. Degenerate into something, fool. You just got tired of doing what they told you to do. But that's a breaks, boy. That's a breaks, little man. Break it down. Yeah, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. Let's get that going again. Yeah, the best tag team in the NBA. Precious and Chris Boucher. DX is in the house. That's right. Yeah. All right. Cool Cat saying also Rico NBA summer runs start August 12th. I guess he opened up early for college and high school players more so. Okay. So, all right. Cool Cat's really coming on strong to help Rico with how it looks right now at Rico Runs. Well, why even put this shit out then, Rico? Like, why even put the preliminaries, the high school and college stuff? We want to see the NBA runs. And you're embarrassing yourself by putting those guys out there and like that. Maybe you just want to show this is what I do to people that are just not, doing it right. This is what happens. Maybe this is part of his brand. He's showing you, look, you come to Rico runs, you better come correct. Because if you don't, warning, go watch the clip from this week. You'll see what happens if you don't. I remember you saying this earlier this week that there's an ad with Siakam in it for that date. That's when they're going to show up. So we'll see. Siakam, you can save Rico's runs just by showing up next week. Please, Siakam, we'll see you there. We'll have to see. I'm sure he's got Rico's back, and maybe not. That'd be a really weird situation if Siakam's in the ad, but it doesn't actually ever show up there this summer, partly because of things that have changed with the Raptors coaching staff and Rico going to Philadelphia. Who knows? Who knows? He is advertised, though. He doesn't want to get Rico Hines sued for false advertising, so he better be there. I'm figuring he will be if he's in the advertisement. So we'll see. Country Kong is here. Good to see Scotty Barnes, Twitch family. Country Kong is in the house. Good morning, Raptors freaks. Lex, I did a vibe check on Rap's recent video visit to Top Golf. My vibes meter broke. Well, you're going to have to get a new one. On the vibes were literally off the charts. Grady and Darko have unleashed the vibes. Yeah, I think it's a few people that have unleashed the vibes. Maybe it's Jama a little bit too. Maybe it's Garrett Temple. Maybe Otto's back and people are like, Otto's actually here and he's actually with us. And he's not just at home with his baby. He's actually with the team. So, yeah, the vibes kept very strong. That clip is hilarious. I think that the way they edited it with Scott's statement at the end of it after OG did the Griddy is hilarious. He's like, oh, why are you doing a Griddy for that? Seriously? You're doing a Griddy for that, OG? He's like, hey, listen, let him celebrate. He hit the ball. Maybe that's enough for him. He's like, yeah, I hit the ball. I hit the ball. And Scotty's like, he's doing a Griddy for that? What is that? That's pure comedy. That is the best kind of Raptors content in some ways. Shaq Lindsay's back again. Once again, love Shaq, love Shaq. Rico runs are not attracting any stars. Rico made the mistake of attaching himself to Nick. Ooh, I like this kind of propaganda. Why not? Yeah, you fucked up. You went to Philly. You should have stayed on the Raptors staff. Well, maybe Darko didn't want him on the team. It may be that he wanted a clean slate and he wanted all his people. Maybe Masai didn't want anybody from last year other than Jim Sands sticking around. So, there's a lot of different reasons why Rico could be with Nick. It could very well be that Nick feels bad because, like he said, all right, Rico, you come coach with me this year from Sacramento and we'll have a great time. You could be in Toronto for a long time. And then Nick shat the bed, fucked up the whole season, and he got fired. And then Masai's like, all of you guys are fired because you all suck this year. And maybe Nick's like, damn, I got Rico fired and he had that great job in Sacramento. Now he's just floating out there. The least I could do is give him a job in Philly. That could have been how it all worked out that way. That's how he ended up in Philly that way, because he feels bad that he fucked up the Raptors and Rico lost his job at the Raptors after 1 year, partly because of Nick Nurse's failures. So he's just doing the right thing. He's keeping him employed. That could be part of the whole thing and how it happened. Seriously. But yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. They're going to attract some stars soon, but it's like, why didn't you get James Harden there? Oh, it's because he's on the fat burger diet right now. That's right. You may not see James at Rico Hines runs this year, partly because he's not trying to be in shape. He ain't trying to be in shape, so you may not see James Harden there. No, you may not. Iceman, always good to see you. Let's see. Isaac saying, I thought that was just called parenting. Yeah, well, you have to feed them and house them, right? So you're benevolent. That's right. There you go. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, man, we lost that play-in game on negligence. Large lead, then lose it when Pascal's sitting, then fight to get it back when he returns to court. Nick Nurse coaching strategy this season will be different. Yeah, I really think he was shaving points or shaving games or causing things to make us worse than we probably should have been. And that's pretty impressive that our guys won still against all the odds in some ways, because our coach was submarining us to a degree. And that was a big part of the problem with our team. So, yeah, let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying Nick doesn't know how to develop young players. That's why he's relying on Rico to do his job. Could be. We'll see. Stargate saying, oh, I'm here for all the Sixers games this season. That team is already starting the shit show already before the season's even started. Yeah, James is a huge problem, and Joel will be a problem also at some point. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I really think it's interesting how the Sixers fans are sick of their shit and they're getting behind Nick Nurse. And in some ways, they very much value Nick Nurse over everybody in that franchise, other than maybe Maxey. There's like they value Maxey and Nick Nurse. They don't value Daryl Morey. They don't value James Harden. And Joel Embiid is about to wear out his welcome if he continues to be different issues, and especially if he's not showing allegiance to them. He, like I said yesterday, he will cut y'all. He will stab y'all in the back, and he will be on the New York Knicks in a heartbeat. Watch, or Miami. And in some ways, Sixers fans know that's true deep down inside. They don't want to totally admit it, but they know Joel's like that, and that he will do this. He will do this down the road in the next couple of years. If he gets the chance, he will cut y'all. He will stab y'all in the back. Watch. MSJ saying, "Cool cat." Likely, I'm just saying that the old pay grade is not the new one, not the new one. Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping this year that we get more clarity and organization and defining of roles, and boom, we're gonna have a lot better year this year. Let's see. Cool cat saying on Rico's Instagram, his posters were always said August 12th. I guess he wanted exposure for the youngins. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about protecting Rico's reputation like you are, but that's fine. I'm glad you're standing up for him to a degree. But yeah, he shouldn't have put this stuff out if he's worried about it looking bad, because he did make it look bad. You know, the Thomas Bryant stuff is great. Just put out a little clip about Thomas Bryant being a champion this year and him being a part of your runs, but cut out all the rest of the scrubs. Those other guys that are there. There's no reason to put all that on blast, Rico. It doesn't serve you anything. And I mean, if you want to put that clip at the end with you reaming them out, sure, show that you're serious. But in some ways, it's like it's an editing choice. And maybe they went too early with the Rico Hines runs. Maybe he wanted to get those clicks right away. But in some ways, he may have fucked himself up because you put the bad product out there. It may turn people off, and they may not come back to watch when the NBA guys show up. They're like, oh, Rico Hines runs are back. And they go and watch the clip, and they're like, this sucks. Rico Hines' runs suck this year. And then they may not come back and check when the actual guys do show up. So, yeah, you guys got to be more calculating with this. If you're going to have the different levels, wait for the NBA guys to show up. I think that would be smart. Cowboy saying it's Darko time. Bring your popcorn. It's going to be a good show. Yes, yes, and yes, yes. Iceman saying NFL is back. Go Seahawks. All right, we got a Seattle fan. Giannis Antetokounmpo won't play World Cup. NBA to open 2023-2024 season with Nuggets, Lakers, and Warriors Suns on October the 24th. All right, some factoid nuggets from Iceman like Gerben. So you love the Seahawks. Okay, cool. Maybe one day when the NFL is about to start, we'll go around and see who's the favorite NFL teams among our Raptor freaks and see which teams we kind of all support. Maybe we'll have some divisions. I know that Tom Duke is a Seahawks fan, being over in Victoria, British Columbia. That is a team that he roots for in the NFL, I believe. So you have another Seahawk fan with you. I'm technically a Buccaneers fan because of my ties to Florida State and Florida, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers was my team. Derek Brooks, Warwick Dunn. Yeah, those are my guys. Yeah, Derek Brooks and Warwick Dunn. Let's see. Those games will be interesting. They're not bad opening games. You got the Nuggets versus the Lakers. Of course, they want to give the Lakers as quick a chance to try and get back for being put out by the Nuggets in the playoffs. Warriors and Suns, very full of drama when you got Kevin Durant and Chris Paul on opposite teams from their old teams from before. Chris Paul playing against the Suns, Kevin Durant playing against his old buddies on the Warriors. Yeah, good drama, good opening day matchups, very good opening days. And Giannis is not going to play for Greece at World Cup and FIBA. You know, there's going to be more and more of this kind of news coming out. Depending on where teams are with how likely they are to get in the Olympics or not, or different things, we're going to see guys sitting out. I think Porzingis will end up sitting out by the end of it. I think that news is a little preemptive, and maybe they're trying to do damage control to say, no, he's going to be there. But I think that in the end, Kristaps Porzingis will not play for Latvia in Jakarta. But I may be wrong. We'll see. We'll see. We'll have to just see what happens by the time we get there. But yeah, we'll see how many more guys, big names, drop out as the time goes on, leading up to the big tournament later this month. Cool Cat saying Rico was on staff all summer league scouting for Raptors. Teams Darko wanted his own team. Yep. Jim Sand was untouchable. Explains why he's in Austria with Pascal, his coach on team since rookie days. Yeah, this is all good stuff. Yeah, Rico was held on a little bit longer than the other guys to go to Vegas and help with stuff there. In fact, he was coaching a team during the Vegas Summer League as a Raptors representative at that time. But then it turned around and the turnover happened really quick. And all of a sudden, he's a Sixers coach. Yeah, yeah. Darko did want his own staff and his own people, and that I can get that. I can get that. And it's probably a lot of it is likely that Masai and Bobby were also like, we need to turn over all the coaches. We can't have anything left over from last year if there were any issues from that. So that's really a big part of it. Now, Jim, as you said, is untouchable because in some ways he's a franchise coach. He's not like a coach on a coaching staff. He's a franchise coach. He's somebody who's very much is like Wayne Embry, just somebody to have around the team for culture and continuity. In some ways, he's very helpful to Darko because he can give him context from Nick Nurse times and other places. You know, I was thinking about this more deeply recently. There's stuff with Jim Sand from this past year where he talks a lot in interviews about how much he enjoys coaching for Nick Nurse at the coach's house in November last year. I remember when Jim Sands spoke to us, he made it very clear that he loves coaching under Nick Nurse. I feel like at even those points last year at different times, he felt like Nick might be in danger. So he was politicking a lot of ways that he said he really enjoys having Nick as the coach. So it could be where very well that Jim was trying to help Nick and keep him his job. But once again, you see, he's with Masai. He's with us. He's a practice coach. He's been with Pascal since day one, just like Cool Cat said. That's why he's in Austria with Pascal right now, helping him practice and do the things he does. But I do think on the download, Jim Sand was trying to put out little things in the press saying, like, I really like Nick as a coach, trying because he knew things were kind of up in a bad place and it may be heading towards him getting fired. So I think he was already politicking for him on the down low in some ways. You go watch some of the interviews with Jim Sand from last year, and he talks about how much he admires Nick Nurse and he really does enjoy being on his staff. Well, I think he'd be happy with the Darko staff too. He's an easygoing guy, and at least he's still around to cause a little bit of continuity and just like, hey, well, what happened with this, Jim? Well, this is what happened 2 years ago with Nick in this situation and what we did. Okay, thank you, Jim, for giving us context from the past. So having just a little bit of that from somebody that was around for a long, long time to give some context and history in the past is really smart. And Jim's not such a direct, like front of the bench coach. And he's kind of in the periphery and he's not even really like in the middle of stuff. He's a practice coach. He's a guy who's a facilities coach. He's a good, like, culture guy. He's a good advice guy. He's a confidant kind of guy, too. So that's all good stuff. That's all good stuff. And he does have a very special connection with Pascal Siakam specifically. So I like that. MSJ saying, when I play golf, I always plant cannabis seeds all over the course. I love this. I love this. Yeah, I'm into like what is I forget what it's called. It's like undercover plantings. Like some people in this world like to just take wildflower seeds and they'll go to like medians in the middle of the highway and just spread them like crazy. You know, like it's like kind of like on the down low planting stuff everywhere. And I get it. Well, I don't know how well they'll do in that with all the landscaping on golf courses. I'm sure that stuff's either getting chopped up or gone away, or maybe little birdies are coming and eating the pot seeds. That can also be a problem too. So yeah, that's cool. I love you do that, Chris, and keep doing it. I have no problem with you doing that. That's awesome. Cowboy saying later, Lex and Rabbit Freaks, bam, game over here. We come, NBA. Let's go, Raptors. Everyone have a great day. Keep your heads up. Let's go. And he's got the cutoff for me, too. All right. Thank you, Bradley. Have a great Friday. Shaq Lindsay saying Boston is already starting off the season on the wrong foot. Haha, KP foot injuries. Well, they're denying it is what's happening right now. There's like a confusing mixed message about Porzingis and his injury. Latvia is saying he's not injured. Somebody was saying he was injured. I was actually speculating that this is what's happening, that there's a Boston fan that really wants to have a good season this year, and he hates that Porzingis is going to play for Latvia. You know, in a lot of ways, people are like this. When we heard that Dennis had the Achilles problem, a lot of people's first reaction is, well, we don't want him playing for Germany. We don't want him playing for Germany. We want to have him safe and ready for the Raptors season. We don't care about Germany and this shit. Well, in some ways, there's Boston fans that are probably thinking the same damn way about Porzingis right now. And that very well be that rumor about his foot was caused by a Boston fan trying to start some momentum to make it sound like he shouldn't play. And that could be very well where it happened. Well, Latvian officials are saying he's not hurt and he's playing. Well, Boston fan may be starting rumors to say that he is. so that he doesn't play. Do you get what I'm saying here? And understand this is how, in some ways, fan manipulation through rumors and social media can cause this. There's a very interesting thing happening right now with Siakam, where there's a rumor that came out yesterday that Siakam does not want to leave the Raptors. And I'm like wondering, you know what? I was just singing this song the last week or two that, Siakam doesn't want to leave the Raptors. He does not want to leave the team. He said that very much. And we know he said, oh, if you trade me, I'm not going to sign an extension with the next team. But it's like, I also elaborate all this. Well, now these aggregators and other people that are putting shit out are very much going on that tip in the last 24 hours that Pascal Siakam does not want to leave the Raptors. And they're putting that out as a rumor right now about Siakam, the freshest one. And I love that. I love that. Maybe they came and listened to me and they're like, oh, Raptor Freak saying Pascal doesn't want to leave the Raptors. That can actually be our rumor. Let's put that out there right now. But it's true. It's not a rumor. He does not want to leave the Raptors. It is very much true. So I'm just saying the power of fans in today's social media world with channels like mine and just being able to be irresponsible with putting information out there that does not come from anything from truth or fact is very much there. And this could be what happened with the Porzingis rumor this week. The Boston fan does not want to see Porzingis suit up for Latvia because he's selfish and he wants the things for his team, the Celtics. And he'll start a rumor saying he's hurt and hope that gets some momentum. And then all of a sudden, Porzingis is sitting. I mean, you'd be crazy. It's crazy how things can work in a weird way, even out of thin air. Just bullshit somebody made up. Let's see. Monica saying 31 people watching. W Stream Lex, keep at it and subscribe. Yes, please subscribe. Subscribe if you can. That means you can talk in the chat. You have to subscribe to be able to participate in our live stream chat. I read every single comment every single day. I don't care if it's nonsense. I don't care if it's gibberish. Write some gibberish in there. I will read it. I don't care. I'll make something out of it. I'll make it fun. Yeah, thank you, Monique. Stargate saying, is Jamal McGlure still on the staff? Yes, he is. He's just not a coach. He will not be traveling with the team. He will not be behind the bench. He is a community ambassador. He's in the front office, and he is still employed by the Toronto Raptors. He is still a part of our franchise, but he is not a coach. So that is the official word on Jamal McGlure. MSJ saying, I love to hear bad news for Boston. I know, I do too. I always love to hear that. Well, let's find out. Either way, this could be kind of sticky for them with Kristaps. Either way, it could be kind of sticky. We'll have to see. Monique saying, Stargate, yes, community ambassador. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Mo. MSJ saying, I agree. This type of channel is far more intuitive and is going to be ahead of the curve. We know ball and we can read the tea leaves. It's going to be a hybrid mix of things. And in some ways, it's going to be important in some ways to be accountable and be able to back up what you're saying. But in some ways, it isn't, because so much is just opinion and just conjecture and bullshit today. So if you can find something that's kind of grounded in reality and makes sense, that's maybe the best way to go in some ways, because there's going to be very cloudy and hard to figure out what is real or true with AI coming and all kinds of crazy other shit that's happening in our world right now. It's definitely like that. In some ways, I like to think of us being ahead of the curve here, that online communities are being built through YouTube and other places and these kind of ways. And in some ways, we're pioneers. That in some ways, this channel, it could be very well the norm, that there's a lot of little online communities like the Raptor Freak family around the world as time goes on. That in some ways, maybe people will be connecting more across continents and cities than just like in communities together where they live. And that this will be more and more how people enhance their connectiveness to other people. So in some ways, we're like the Wild West frontier of the internet and social online communities. And we may be very well on the forefront of one of the earliest like this. Like other people are like this from before too, sure. But this may be the way we're heading more and more in the future, for sure. G saying, Raptors Instagram just posted Gary's shot to tie the game versus the Bucks. They have been showing a lot more Gary, yes, lately. Yeah. I like this campaign by Raptors official to go and show highlights from last year, whether it's the Scotty's highlight thing. They put on Chris's free throw line dunk on blast. They're putting Thaddeus on blast in different ways. Gary now. They're coming around, and they did a Jakob one too in the last couple of weeks. It's really good. They're getting an excitement and anticipation for the new season. They're reminding people of the fun and the excitement of Raptors basketball. And these clips are very well put together, and they're great propaganda to get excitement levels up. and I really excited. They put a Gary one out there. That's what I'm saying. Gary Trent Senior and uh, King Bolton, Jordan Bolton are both saying Gary's being put on blast by the Raptors more than ever this summer than the first 2 years he's been with the team. And that's a sign that we do value him and he's going to be around for a while. Not putting him on blast before may have been partly because of Nick. In some ways, maybe Nick didn't really see Gary as part of the future, but now that Nick's gone, maybe Gary has more of a chance to be more part of our future. And that's why he's more getting his face put on our official Raptors accounts. So this is good. This is good. Let's see. Cowboys saying MSJ and Lex, the best Raptors content on the planet. Keep it going, Lex. Bam, bam, bam. Love the Raptor Freak family. Let's go. All right. Thank you, Bradley. Be safe out there. On that note, I think I'm going to wrap things up. I don't really have a whole lot today. Just wanted to talk about OG and the golf and the Griddy and also the Rico Hines stuff. And then, a little bit more about like just general NBA stuff that's going on right now. Tomorrow, I will be live streaming during Canada versus New Zealand. And so we'll get a stream and I will be reacting to it live. We don't do this very often on this channel. I did it during the All-Star game 2 years ago. It didn't work very well, but I'm going to retry it again because the timing's just right. I'm going to be on anyway at 9:30 tomorrow. So why not just do a long live stream of watching Canada versus New Zealand with you guys? So the stream's going to be a little bit different tomorrow. It's going to be a Saturday Share the Love Club, Team Canada. And I will be literally watching Team Canada while that Share the Love Club goes on. So it's the kind of thing where I'll have the game on and I'll be watching it and talking about it during it. And you guys can talk to me and we'll have like a reactive stream. That will be kind of what's going on tomorrow. So be ready for that. All right, Chris, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. All right, y'all, please like, comment, subscribe, and share and join if you want. We do have membership on this channel at this point, and there are perks. There are a few perks. But thank you all for being here with me once again, 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, and let's go Raptors. We love you, Pascal. We love you, OG. We love you, Scotty. We love you, Darko. We love all y'all Raptors. Chomp, 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 just like Seymour said. Thank you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Let's go Raptors.